Another one bites the dust. Fox News settles a blockbuster defamation lawsuit with Dominion voting machines. I'm Tyrone Bowman. This is Tyrone Bowman Tonight. According to NPR or National Public Radio, Fox News and its parent company, Fox Corporation, have struck a deal averting a trial in the blockbuster defamation suit filed by the election tech company Dominion Voting Systems over spurious claims of fraud in the 2020 presidential election. Judge Eric Davis of the Delaware Superior Court announced the settlement from the bench on Tuesday afternoon, ahead of the trial's scheduled start. The parties settled for $787,500,000, about half of Dominion's original $1.6 billion ask. The amount represents vindication and accountability, said Dominion lawyer Justin Nelson. Lies have consequences. Dominion CEO John Poulos told reporters Fox has admitted to telling lies about Dominion that cause erroneous damage to my company, our employees, and the customers that we serve. Nothing can ever make up for that. Throughout this process, we have sought accountability. He said truthful reporting in the media is essential to our democracy. Fox News released a statement shortly after a settlement was announced. We acknowledge the court's rulings finding certain claims about Dominion to be false, the statement said. This settlement reflects Fox's continued commitment to the highest journalistic standards. Whatever. We are hopeful that our decision to resolve this dispute with Dominion amicably, instead of the acrimony of a divisive trial, allows the country to move forward from these issues. As much evidence as we've seen, there still is plenty more that hasn't been made public in a trial that documents and statements that have been redacted, which are likely to constitute some of the most damning evidence against Fox, would have been revealed, said Tom Weiner, a retired Michigan corporate litigator who has been following the case closely at NPR's request. Dominion started this case because Fox's defamatory statements have severely damaged its reputation. Weiner added, by largely trying its case in the court of public opinion, Dominion has gone a long way toward restoring its good name. In the process, of course, Fox's own reputation has been seriously undermined. A settlement was always on the table. Past the ill will, past the statements, there were clearly wrong in real time, past the inflammatory arguments and the soaring declarations of constitutional principle. A settlement always loomed as the logical resolution of the legal clash. Dominion Voting Systems alleged that Fox stars, executives, journalists, and guests defamed the elections tech company for segments in which wild and spurious conspiracies held it had switched votes for then President Donald Trump to Democratic challenger Joe Biden. Dominion's legal team pursued a to the pain strategy, extending to inflict maximum discomfort for Fox and its proprietors in order to secure a big payout, and as public an apology from Fox News as possible. For Fox and its controlling partners Rupert and Leyland Murdoch, it was worth the cost to pay for the spectacle to go away. For Fox, what evidence dribbled out in court hearings and court documents piled embarrassment upon disgrace. Fox News chief executive Suzanne Scott warned her colleagues against running fact-checking segments by the network's own reporters debunking lies about election fraud, even as it gave such bogus claims acres of prime real estate. Primetime stars Tucker Carlson, Laura Ingraham, and Sean Hannity privately trashed the people who lied about Dominion on their network's airways, and yet also trashed the reporters who sought to hold them accountable for those lies. We don't like y'all anyway. Fox founder Rupert Murdoch, who under oath called himself a newsman at heart, advocated going slow in confronting Fox's pro-Trump viewers with unwelcome news in order to protect the franchise. Hannity didn't believe for 1 second the lies being peddled by Trump, and on Fox itself, even though, as Murdoch put it, the star endorsed them a bit. Host Maria Bartramaro put on an attorney spinning pro-Trump conspiracy theories and insinuating without evidence fraud by Dominion on the basis of a memo whose author, a Minnesota artist, called her own allegations pretty wackadoodle. Judge Davis had signaled his deep skepticism over Fox's defense. Before the jury phase of the case had even commenced, Davis ruled in Dominion's favor on key points. Fox had argued Dominion's lawsuit violated free speech provisions in the First Amendment by seeking to hold the network accountable for what it accurately reported that newsworthy figures, including a sitting president, were saying. Judge Davis found that the statements on Fox's shows were false and had defamed the election tech company. The judge, known for his even-keeled demeanor on his bench over the years, repeatedly lost his equanimity with Fox's blue ribbon legal team as the trial neared. Davis warned Fox attorneys that he felt misled once he learned just a week before opening arguments that Rupert Murdoch held the title executive chairman at Fox News, suggesting he had more agency over the network's coverage and tone than it allowed. Fox said the title was an honorific without meaning for the network's founder. Davis also questioned whether Fox had withheld other material and information from Dominion's attorneys and the court, moving to appoint a special master to investigate the conduct of Fox's lawyers. And Davis warned Fox attorneys, "Don't make me look like an idiot." After they asked that, the 92-year-old Murdoch be not subjected to the rigors of being forced to travel to Wilmington to testify in person. Davis noted Murdoch had just announced in the gossip pages of his own New York Post the intention to split time among his 4 homes in Montana, Los Angeles, New York City, and London with his new bride-to-be. Then Murdoch called off the wedding, which was to have been his 5th shortly after, did not appear to mitigate Davis's irritation. Get back to the story. None of this made for an auspicious start to the trial for Fox or the Murdochs. And so the Murdoch decided to pay nearly $800 million to make the bleeding stop. Had they not done so, Rupert would have likely been subject to questioning in court. Network executives would have been forced to pick between testifying that they had no idea that their own reporters had debunked the Trump campaign's false claims of election fraud, or that they knew but allowed stars to give them credibility in front of millions of viewers. The Murdochs have paid before. They agreed to settlements in excess of $900 million over allegations of fraud and anti-competitive practices against News Corp's lesser-known marketing business, News America. They paid hundreds of millions of dollars in a massive phone and email hacking scandal involving their British tabloids, and they paid roughly $200 million to ensure further details of allegations of widespread sexual harassment at Fox News were not aired in open court. The network also paid the family of the slain Democratic Party aide, Seth Rich, an undisclosed settlement worth millions of dollars just before Hannity and former Fox Business host Lou Dobbs were set to be questioned by the Rich's attorneys under oath. Similarly, executives at the Walt Disney Company and ABC breathed a sigh of relief after settling a case in 2017 in which ABC News had referred to a kind of processed beef as pink slime. That's because the amount parent company Disney paid, $177 million, was a fraction of its possible $5.7 billion exposure under South Dakota law. ABC did not retract the story. When it comes to defamation, says Jane Kirtley, a former executive director of the Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press, there are 2 elements for media outlets in deciding to settle, one immediate and one grander. Broadly speaking, she said, media organizations want to sidestep any chance for a judge or appellate court to revisit the very high standard of proving actual malice established in a landmark 1964 ruling in a case involving the New York Times. The law currently favors news organizations, yet several U.S. Supreme Court justices have expressed an interest in altering or reforming that standard. There's always a risk that mischief will be done, says Kirtley, a noted advocate for press rights. If you can make the case go away, that's a win. The more specific concern, Kirtley says, involves a calculation. Can Fox and the Murdochs stomach a continuing parade of mortifying revelations, even if they do not affect the ultimate outcome of the trial? On election night, Fox News' decision desk projected that Democratic presidential nominee Biden, on election night, Fox News' decision desk projected that Democratic presidential nominee Biden would win the pivotal state of Arizona. Trump and his advisors waged an intense effort to get the network to reverse the call. The network and the Murdochs stood by it. Yet in ensuing days, viewers peeled away. Major Fox News stars such as Dobbs, Barr, Romeo, and Jeannie Pereiro embraced the claims that the Minion machine switched Trump's votes to Biden and other far-fetched accounts of voting fraud. Along with Hannity and Carlson, they gave Trump allies the airtime to make similar claims. Anchors such as Brett Baier and Martha McCullum complained about the blowback from Trump's inner circle and their own viewers and asked whether such projections could take audience sentiment into account in the future. Two senior political editors involved in the projection of Arizona, Washington managing editor Bill Simon and political editor Chris Stirewalt, were forced out at the urging of Rupert Murdoch. Fox called Simon's departure a retirement and Stirewalt's part of a large restructuring. Neither characterization was true. So it seems, and this article goes on and on, I'm going to leave it right there. It seems like Rupert Murdoch is a big, fat liar. I'm Tyrone Bowman. Never surrender, never quit.